can mute themselves out, that'd be great.
Have been evaluated by the FDA. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases. Hi, this is Thomas. Welcome to the Deets, where we dive into the details of Sisel's product lineups. Enjoy! Welcome to another episode of The Deets. Today we got a special guest, my father, the CEO of Sisel. He just got back from Pennsylvania launching the product that we're actually going to be talking about here in just a couple moments. So I just want to remind everybody, keep submitting your questions to the call center because, like I said, we're going to make one heck of an episode just answering distributors' questions that they submit to the call center. So get those in soon. Anyway, well, everybody, we're going to be talking about Sisel's Collagen B3 product, a product my father just launched back in Pennsylvania just last week that has taken sales by force. People are loving it. People are really developing strong testimonies about on how it's improving their health and their wellness. And so, like I said, I thought we'd bring on the CEO of Sisel, my father, Tom Mower Jr. How you doing, Dad?
Good, Thomas. It's great to be here today and talk about the newest exciting product that we have in the Sisel lineup of outstanding formulations that are changing health and building businesses throughout the world.
Yeah, it's exciting. People are really, really enjoying this product. So when you were out in Pennsylvania, what were some of the feedback or what were people saying while you're out there?
Well, I had some product that I actually gave away out there, but we didn't try the product out there. But prior to that, as we sent these out samples to the council members and other people, probably the biggest feedback was they were out of product for about a month until we brought the product out, and my joints are feeling different. I didn't realize what it did for skin and hair, and my nails were growing faster. And so that's really the feedback we had prior to launching this product. And as people are just starting to receive their orders, great results are starting to come back in, just like what we had seen as we shipped it to Europe and Japan and here in America. The people who tried the product did not realize how their health had deteriorated in so many ways.
Wow. What flavor did we flavor it this time?
Vanilla.
Classic vanilla.
Vanilla in fragrances and flavors. Many things that aren't even vanilla flavored have vanilla added to them because it enhances so many other flavors.
Well, it's our popular, Siseline's our most popular Siseline too, even over the chocolate. And it does taste fantastic, which is one thing when we were trying out a lot of our competitors that I found different from ours, is that the taste is so much better.
It's almost smoothie cream.
Yeah, and it doesn't get clumpy.
It doesn't.
It blends way easy.
It is instantized, so it blends really well, especially in hot beverages like coffee, which a lot of people enjoy adding it to. That's a real quick way to have a cup of coffee and add some very healthy ingredients to your diet for the day.
And I was going to ask you that. How do you recommend people take it? With their coffee, in a water bottle, in milk? What's some of the methods that you would see beneficial to consume this product?
Well, you can do it so many different ways. It's not like just taking a couple of capsules. Really let your imagination go wild, but think about the way that you consume food every day. Some people like it in their coffee. Some people want to put it in a greens type smoothie or a fruit smoothie. Some people, it really depends on what you're trying to get out of this. Some people who are on a weight loss or a muscle building will maybe put a scoop of Siseline and a scoop of Collagen B3. Mm-hmm. And so it all really depends on what you're trying to accomplish. But one thing 100% of everybody's trying to accomplish is having the best looking hair, the healthiest skin, stronger tendons, stronger ligaments, and the most fortified, moisturized skin that they can have. And this collagen is part of all of that.
Well, and I guess that's what my next question was going to be for you is because I've heard from some people, well, why do I need to keep taking Siseline if I have the Collagen B3? Like, well, what are some of the differences?
Well, they're immensely different.
Yeah.
They have one thing in common. They're both considered proteins. But proteins definitely differ because we have different needs. If we're talking about red muscle, we're talking about biceps and lats and thighs and quads and all the different types of muscles we have. We're talking about red muscle, and that's where whey protein way excels other types of proteins, and that's found in the Sisel. If we're talking about building skin, hair, nails, tendons, ligaments,
Joint tissue.
cartilage, with joint tissue, that's where collagen's used. I mean, collagen is the number one protein in your entire body, but there's about 16 different types of that.
Wow. So pretty much what you're saying is the only thing they really have in common is the word protein, but they're totally different and have totally different factors.
Once you consume them, they go extremely different routes where they're utilized.
Okay. Well, and we use how many different kinds of those 16 that you were talking about?
Well, about 90% of all the collagen in your body is made up from type 1 and 3. And so we have type 1, type 2, and type 3.
What are the differences between them?
Well, type 1 and 3, like I say, are used heavily in skin, hair, and nails. But type 2, besides being probably the most expensive collagen on the market, is very essential in joint health. And our Renovator product, we use this for this reason also.
Yeah, I know when we were buying the raws from it, this is by far our most expensive product to make. It only has 16 servings.
Yeah, we have some others that are very expensive, but you're right. This is one of the top ones.
It was, and it's heavy. It tastes so good, guys. I'm telling you. And we use MCT oil too with this collagen, these type 1, type 2, and type 3. What would people see as a benefit of having MCT oil in this?
Well, we call it Sisel B3 because one of the B stands for brain. And this is a great product for those who are trying to follow a ketosis type diet, meaning we limit our carbs. Well, when we limit our carbs, we limit the energy to our brain until we get into what is known as ketosis. And at that point, our brain is fueled with ketones. Now, that's where Sisel Thin took the world by storm this last year, and thousands of people. When I was, back in Pennsylvania last week talking about collagen, one thing that I saw over the crowd of hundreds and hundreds of people is they were a lot smaller than the last time I was out there before the pandemic. I looked at people that I hadn't seen in 2 years, and I thought, wow, what happened to the other 30%? Well, we can blame that on Sisel Thin because they lost so much weight. But back to ketosis. So if we are restricting the amount of carbs in our diet, we're trying to get our body to convert to burning that excess fat that we so badly want to eliminate from our body and get back into those clothes that used to fit 20 years ago. Well, the fastest way to do that is to reduce the amount of carbs and switch over to ketosis. But our brain has two main sources for energy because it consumes most of our energy, and that is either simple carbs, which unfortunately do a lot of damage, especially in excess, or clean ketones. Sisel Thin produces those ketones. Well, another ingredient that can be quickly converted to ketones is MCT oil. Those are medium chain triglycerides. Typically, when we talk about medium chain, we talk about the amount of carbon molecules that are linked together. And in medium chain, you're typically looking at about 8 carbon atoms. If you're looking at about 8 to 10, you get into longer chains, then they have to be converted back down through the liver, and they don't have the benefit for ketosis. But MCT oil, which comes from coconut, helps to keep us in that ketone burning, high functioning brain function without adding extra calories to our diet.
Do you think it adds to the flavor too, kind of why ours tastes so good?
I think it does. It comes from coconut.
Gives it that
It definitely gives it kind of
feeling.
that creamy feel, to it, and definitely doesn't hurt on the flavor profile, but definitely impacts the health benefit of that.
And one ingredient that we have too, when I was looking through our list of ingredients, and we always talk about it paired with collagen, but that's hyaluronic acid. Well, what's that for? Is it our joints? Is that, well, what's that specifically intended for when tied with collagens?
You look at hyaluronic acid, it will hold thousands and thousands of times its own weight in water. It really binds to water. Your skin is full of it. But what happens as we age? What happens, it's really popular when you're a teenager, and I remember when you and your buddies would go to the reservoir, and it's awesome to look tan and bronze, but what you don't realize is over time, the ultraviolet light from the sun and our environment breaks down our skin. And what happens is hyaluronic acid is lost. Your skin contains a lot of hyaluronic acid, and it holds the moisture in your skin. So we've added this. So another B in Sisel B3 is body. And so by adding hyaluronic acid, it aids also in joints, synovial fluid, which cushion our joints, but it also helps to maintain moisture within our skin, because as we're refueling the collagen needed by an epithelial cell to increase the density, we also want very supple filling skin, and that's the moisture that's found in that, and that takes hyaluronic acid to do that.
I know. Every time I keep looking at a lot of these other competing products, it's just collagen. And it seems like we've made a very encompassing, very well-rounded product that is not just another collagen product on the market, because you're seeing it everywhere. You see it in grocery stores, you see it at the checkout stand, you see it in other companies, some of our competitors. You see it everywhere, but really what makes this stand out so much? It's just not collagen.
Well, and you're right. And you could take each of these individual ingredients that we have in there, and you could find them in other products. But it's the entire we talk about Encompass 360. Why is it 360? Because it's a circle. It covers everything within vitamins and minerals and antioxidants that we're looking for in that product. The same is true with our collagen. We're not just talking about hair and nails. We're not just talking about skin. We're not just talking about a ketosis-friendly supplement. We're not just talking about brain. We're not just talking about body and beauty. We're talking about it all.
Yeah, everything.
And so when you look in there and say, why would you have vitamin C? Vitamin C is an extremely important component to building collagen.
It's a precursor to collagen, right?
Well, not a precursor, but it is a component, or one of the metabolites that's utilized to build that, correct. Mm-hmm.
Wow, so we have the processes, we're encouraging the processes in our body to naturally produce collagen, but we're also flooding it with more collagen.
Correct. Let's hurry and have more arrows in our quiver when we're trying to build skin. Wow. So, yeah, this is a 1-2 punch for our body. Like I say, this is the number one protein in your entire body. And so we want to give people the types of collagen that they need that affect their entire body in so many different ways.
Oh, and I love updating the sales report for this. Every hour, oh, we sold 500. Oh, we sold another 250. Oh, we sold another 1,000 overnight. This thing is flying. Quicker than most of our product launches we've had in the past.
Oh, absolutely, because number one, it does taste great. Number two, it's really easy to use. And number three, everybody sees the benefit. And if they go out there and they compare on the market, you'll find a collagen product that might have the same amount, might be the same price, but it won't have all the types of collagen, all the other cofactors that impact so many different areas of our health. This is a multitude of products built into one.
And I also want to focus on one more ingredient, and I think it's one of the more important ingredients too, and it might be overshadowed because it's in a lot of our other products, but shaga. Why do we put shaga in this?
Well, just like I talked about you and your friends skinny dipping down at the reservoir trying to get tan, all this ultraviolet light is assaulting your body, and that's a free radical, and it breaks down skin and so many other detrimental things. Well, how do we fight those types of free radicals? They're found in the foods we eat, the waters we drink, the fumes that we inhale, the sunlight we're exposed to, and that's through having a very high auric value or a high antioxidant. And chaga, like we have in our coffee, number one, it blends in about anything because of the particle size and the feel and the texture, but it is an incredible antioxidant, many times more powerful than vitamin E and vitamin C. And so I blended this in this. This is obviously from, you have to get chaga from the Great White North up in Canada or Siberia, but it's worth bringing it and adding to this because not only are we rebuilding, we want to defend. We want to protect what we already have.
One more point. So we're talking about giving our body the precursors to naturally produce collagen, or naturally producing collagen. We're flooding the system with collagen. And then in order
and the right types of collagen.
And for all different, 3 different types to, joints, skin, hair, nails, everything, brain. And on top of that, we're also giving our body what it needs to help fight antioxidants that's going to break down that collagen once it's established.
That's right. And so weightlifters are excited about it because it helps build stronger ligaments and tendons that those big, beefy muscles are attached to the bone. And why are weight loss people excited? Not only is it low calorie, but also it fuels our brain with ketosis or with ketones so that they feel satisfied, they consume less. And so you're right, this affects so many different programs that people are on when we're talking about their health, but you hit on the last one, which is important. Let's defend and protect what we already have and what we're trying to rebuild. And so, this is the 3 Bs.
So that's why I'm biased, right? This is Sisel. This is our business. But there's really nothing like this on the market. There's lots of collagens on the market. There's lots of different ways of taking it, whether it's in liquid form, in powder form, in capsule form, gel form. It's every way that you can think of. That's how people are consuming collagen. But you're not going to find another product that has all those different factors in it. And if you do, it's going to be really, really hard. You might be able to find 1 or 2 in other products, but nothing like this is really out there.
That's correct. And it really does boil down to that. This is multiple types of different products for various different types of diets that people are on, and we've compiled it. I've made many collagen products over the years. We've done contract manufacturing. I've studied this extensively for years, and I wasn't really overly motivated until I could configure a way that people who are trying to achieve dynamic weight loss, and people who want better mental clarity, and people who want to build muscles and have stronger tendons, and people who are looking for better joint health, until I could put it all together. Collagen became popular in the media 4 or 5 years ago, and it hasn't peaked yet. It should almost double here in the next 4 or 5 years, they figure, in sales. But until I could do it right and do it better and add a better value, I didn't want to bring it out. But once I had those components together, I thought, now is the time. And so we've invested into this heavily and brought out the world's very best collagen product.
Wow. Well, guys, you heard it from our CEO and our chief formulator, the mastermind himself, Tom Jr. Wow, what an education process. And
Katie, I really like listening about the collagen product because, it's a great product. It does taste good, like they were just talking about. It does taste good. I mix it in with my coffee every morning, so it's easy to take. The biggest problem with collagen is the fact that most people don't take it because of the taste.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've covered collagen, and I know, Kurt, you'd sent out an email. We were going to talk about the top 5 products in Australia. And so I've reshared this slide that Tom Jr. shared on a previous talk. Do you want to go through those top 5 products? And
You bet. Well,
why they're popular, why they're popular too in Australia?
Yeah. Well, Katie, can you show that whole slide, or is this the only part of it?
Oh, hang on. Let me do a new share. Stop share, and I'll do a new share.
Can you do the whole slide with Australia and United States?
Yeah, I can. Hang on a second. I'll have to just stop the share.
Because I find it interesting. when you look at the top 20 products in both countries, and you see how we're so totally different. And and I guess, before Katie brings that up, I'm just going to say this: if you take a look at the top products in Australia, they're mostly health related. Where if you look at the top 5 or the top, I'm going to say top 20 products, the top 20 products in Australia, they're mostly health related. Where if you look at the top 20 products in the United States, they're mostly fitness related, weight loss. People here, we're an overweight country. Look at me, we're fat, and that's the truth of the matter. So our top products, year in, year out, if you watch our TV starting probably in October next month, you'll see there. That's the slide. Look at those top products. Compare them. Top 20 in both countries.
Yeah.
If you look at the fitness products in the United States, 6. Fitness products in Australia, 2. Health related products in the United States, 11. Health products down in Australia, 14. Home related products, the laundry detergent is one of the top 20 here in the United States. That doesn't show up over there. The personal care products, again, you guys have a couple more personal care products that you like, but look at the top 5. The only one that's the same is Fucoidan, and of course, Fucoidan is our number one product across the globe. Back and forth. It'll sometimes switch to age pill, but if you look at the United States, age pill is number 17, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. So I wanted to point that out. So the big difference is really over here. We focus a lot on our weight. And you look at Sizzle Ripped, it's a weight related product. It's a product for building muscle. You look at Fire and Iced Tea, it's an energy related product. Most people here don't have a lot of energy because they're overweight. And then we have Bad Guts and Super Mega is really omega 3s are really marketed a lot on TV and things like that. So anyhow, I wanted to say that. But down in Australia, let's talk about those products now. So Katie, if we can zoom in just in Australia, I want to talk about those products that that are important down there. The age pill. The age pill is so important. You've heard Katie and I talk about it a lot. I mean, last year at this time, we did 3 months of just talking about the age pill. Why is it one of the top selling products down in Australia? Because we talk about it a lot, and people have tried it and they find that it works. And so it's going to stay on the top of the list as long as people are talking about it. So keep talking about it. It's the number one product sold down in Australia. Here in the United States, people need to find out more about it. And so if you're from the United States and you're listening to this call, start investigating glycation, start investigating NAD, and you'll find that the age pill, there's nothing like it anywhere else in the world. Fucoidan is the number one product in the United States. It's the number 2 product down in Australia. Fucoidan is a product made from an extract from brown seaweed, a limamui, and it's got some pretty amazing properties. It helps to get rid of inflammation, and it helps with the immune system. And boy, I don't care where you live. Who couldn't use a stronger immune system in today's world? Who couldn't use a stronger immune system in today's world? Think about it. And the way that we make it, the way that Sisel makes it, Sisel owns, the Mowers own over 100 patents just on this one product alone, on the manufacturer and on the intelligence of this product. They've gotten the Genius Award twice on this product. So it's a great product. If you don't know anything about it, get a hold of somebody, and they'll help you get some information on it. If you're listening to this recording and you don't know anything about it, we should really find out about it. Brain vitality, boy, I tell you what. I mean, I'm going to use my dad as my example on this one. My dad, he's 85 years old, to be 86 in December. And it was about 8-10 years ago, maybe. Dad started complaining a little bit about, he was having a little bit of memory challenges, and And I said, "Oh, you got to try this product." And I flipped him over a bottle of Brain Vitality. 2 weeks into it, he's just taken the normal dosage on the bottle. 2 weeks into it, he tells me, he says, "Kurt," he said, "I don't want to ever go without this product. It's working that good." He says, "I can feel a difference." And my dad's one of those guys that, he doesn't really say much unless he's really got something to say. And so I kind of tell people that that's my go-to testimonial with Brain Vitality. If you know anybody that's getting older, 50, even now in today's world, they're saying that they're starting to notice a cognitive decline in people in their later 40s. So you might want to start taking that one even earlier than that. And definitely, if you're getting into your 50s and 60s, you want to take the Brain Vitality. Eternity, it's a high potency resveratrol product. And what I try and tell people on resveratrol is that resveratrol is an ingredient. It was really studied by a scientist. I can't mention his name because he likes to sue everyone that mentions his name, because he assumes that we're trying to make it that he puts his stamp of approval on a product. So we don't mention his name ever. But he works at one of the major universities here in the United States and done a lot of research. And resveratrol, they found that they thought that they had really found the fountain of youth back when they started doing a lot of research on it. And what it does is it's a great ingredient for anti-angiogenic properties. Resveratrol is not. We can't say that about Eternity, right? Because like Tom Jr. said, or Tom Jr. said before his recording on the collagen, we can't make any claims on our products because we haven't been tested for that. But we can definitely talk about the ingredients. And resveratrol has been shown to be anti-angiogenic, which means that it cuts off the blood supply to tumors. Resveratrol does that. And Eternity is a really powerful resveratrol product. It's in my opinion, it's one of the strongest resveratrol products on the market. It's got the equivalency in one little 20 milliliter dose. It's got the equivalent of drinking 300 glasses of red wine. Think about that. 300 glasses of red wine. That's the resveratrol dosage in there. But probably for the anti-aging part of it, the main thing that it does is it works with the sirtuin genes. There's 7 known sirtuin genes, and what these genes do is they repair damaged DNA. And people say, "Well, how do I know if I have damaged DNA?" Trust me, you do. Because DNA is damaged by stress. DNA is damaged by UV radiation. DNA is damaged by injuries, accidents, falls, things like that. Anything that you can think of, chemicals, all that stuff damages your DNA. Radiation, and Eternity helps to repair that damaged DNA, which is really, really important. And then, of course, there's the Super Shine toothpaste. It's number 5 on the list down in Australia. And maybe you guys just like to have better teeth than we do over here. I don't know. There's a lot more competition for toothpaste over here. There's a lot of different reasons for it. But I mean, toothpaste is always in my cabinet. I always make sure I have 2 bottles just in case I run through one quickly, or if somebody said, one of my kids, I got 3 boys, if they need a bottle of it. But it's got calcium hydroxyapatite, which is a type of calcium I studied it way before I even knew about Sisel. Calcium hydroxyapatite, they showed in studies, and this was proven, they had to actually take it to court because the FDA went after the company that made the claim. But they were using calcium hydroxyapatite in a bone building product, and we have it in our calcium product as well. But calcium hydroxyapatite, they showed that it could build bone faster than the medication that was on the market. And they had to actually prove that in court. But they found that calcium hydroxyapatite helps to rebuild the enamel on your teeth. So anyhow, that's the top 5 that I want to talk about over in Australia. Katie. And then, looking at the United States, as far as the top 5 over here, I kind of wrote them down real quickly. We've got our coffee on there. We're coffee drinkers. We like to have our cup of coffee every morning. What?
It's all right. It's just
Okay.
muting. Yeah, just muting Vicky out. Go on.
Okay. I was just saying, and coffee, the Sisel Cafe, the Sisel coffee line, for those of you that aren't familiar with it, it was ranked as the #1 coffee in the network marketing industry just recently. And the coffee that we use, it's a Panama Geisha Bocchetti coffee. Panama Geisha Bocchetti coffee has been rated as the #1 tasting coffee in the Taster's Choice Awards. I think it's been like 15 years in a row now. And if you take a look at how much it costs, I mean, I've seen it go for over $185 a pound for a pound of just the pure Panama Bocchetti coffee. But that's what we mainly use there. But then we add some different things. We add different ingredients to actually improve the brain function. We add some things to improve the immune system. So really, really good coffee. Sizzle Ripped is on one of the top 5 in the United States. Sizzle Ripped uses an ingredient, and we can make claims on this one as well, because there was $25 million worth of research that was actually done on the ingredient. And what that ingredient does is it helps to rebuild muscle. And the original research was done on senior citizens, on aging people, because they found that the switches, I'll call them the switches in your body that tell you to build new muscle, shut off at a certain time of your life. And so this doctor, Dr. Wolf, he was doing some studies, and he was trying to figure out, how do you make those switches come back on? And that's what he discovered. So he uses some amino acids, branch chain amino acids, and I won't get into the whole science on it, but basically by using those branch chain amino acids, it makes a signal, right? And remember, you got to have a signal. You got to have somebody that says, hey, turn that back on inside your body. And that's what that does. So it helps to rebuild that. Fire and Ice, like I talked about, it's an energy drink. And then Super Omega, it's omega-3s, but we've added to CoQ10. And way back when I started going to anti-aging seminars, they said CoQ10 was so important in anti-aging, because here in the United States we use a lot of cholesterol medications, and it shuts off that part of the body's metabolism. So CoQ10 is really, really important. So that's the top 5 in Australia. That's the top 5 in the United States. A little bit of my reasoning about why it might be there. And so, yeah, I'll shut her down with that, Katie.
Okay, thanks everyone for jumping on the call today, and we appreciate you getting on. We've got a really exciting call next weekend. This is going to be the launch of the shipping for Australia, and there'll be some discussion for New Zealand. So please jump on the corporate call. Kurt and I won't do a call that day. We'll be promoting Liesl and Tom Jr.'s call for next weekend. So please keep that in your diary. So we look forward to, I will be doing a training on Monday night, and I'll put that invitation out shortly. So thanks everyone for jumping on. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Kurt.